Enemy Quake Wars is a brand new title from id Software being developed by my company Splash Damage over in the UK that charts the invasion of Earth by the Strog, the kind of biomechanically augmented aliens from the Quake series of games. And because this is the invasion of Earth in around 2065, in essence it's a prequel to the Quake series of games. This is a game that lets you choose to play as either the Strog with their advanced alien technology or the humans, the Global Defense Force, with their more conventional weapons. Rather than just kind of run around deathmatching and capturing flags, you're actually pursuing military objectives. And these are inspired by the story of each map. So each map in Enemy Territory Quake Wars is really a beat in the story of the Strog invasion of Earth. With our game, because you have a military objective and you have specific combat roles, each character class has unique items and tools and abilities and rewards that they can pursue. You can play a very specific role that isn't just about running around and shooting. For the game to have great depth, to have real longevity, it needs to be accessible. Somebody on my team, a covert ops, well, he's snuck into the enemy base, stolen a disguise, got into their spawn, planted a third eye camera, gathered intelligence on the base, which has been relayed via the command map to my team, and the servers automatically generated a mission for me to go destroy this base plasma mortar. So I have no idea what everybody else is doing on my team, but I can now go off and do a mission that's critical to our success with no understanding of what anybody else is doing when I first start playing. And that really helps take the kind of curve out of learning.
There is a lot of new tech in etqw. The game has a ton of assets, but the guys here have done such a good job that we haven't really had to cut down on the size of assets. There's been some optimizations, but outside of some controller functionality, we haven't cut any features in terms of gameplay. We haven't cut any features in terms of actual level geometry, lighting, the vehicles, physics. Everything is carried over pretty much straight from the PC. We've also implemented some things that we've done in the past, that have become common features for console players, which is like an auto aim. But the auto aim, lets us, especially for newer players, get into the game. What it comes down to is just making it more accessible, especially for new players to this genre.
I think it's really important to have a bot that feels human-like. If you're playing the game and you get to a point where you can't tell which is the bot, that's a really important thing, so it's something I've worked a lot on. Obviously with the computer calculating everything, I could be perfectly precise where they always throw perfectly, they always hit their targets, but it's a lot more interesting, I think, where you allow a degree of imprecision in there sometimes. So sometimes they're going to miss their target, sometimes they're going to do something silly and goofy, and it's actually intentional that they do that. I've actually coded that.
Enemy Territory Quake Wars, it's being developed primarily for the PC, which is Windows XP, Vista, Mac OS X and Linux, plus the Xbox 360 and Sony PS3, and is also having back-end ports to things like Linux for running servers and Windows for servers.